What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Today we got this 2004 Toyota 4Runner. In the morning the truck shakes and violently having a random misfire. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a tune-up, and it's also giving us a code for p0300. That's a cylinder number 3 misfire. But I'm gonna guide you how to find out each cylinder. So this is 6 cylinder. So I'm gonna tell you where cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is located. But we got this ignition coil, Denso, that's the part number right there. We're gonna use that and put that on cylinder number 3. We got spark plugs, 4 in this pack, that's what we're using. And there's the part number. We got 2 more here, so total of 6 spark plugs, 2 here and 4 in here. Putting that to the side, we also got an air filter for this truck. We're gonna replace the air filter. Should be a simple job. And if you're having a random misfire, you might want to take a look at it. But let me show you what I recorded on my phone previously. So let's take a glimpse of that. Plus, we had a flashing check engine light. So all those symptoms are there, and you do need to start from somewhere. So we located that cylinder 3 is misfiring, and let's get this job going. All right, guys, we got a 2004 Toyota 4Runner. And really hard shake, misfire, rumbling blah, 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 in the beginning, and the check engine light came on. So I just started her up and I ripped it. It really wasn't giving me anything, but now I got a check engine light. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit down, because it only happens on the startup. So I'm gonna let it sit down. I'm gonna restart again so you guys can see what the hell it is. I'm gonna diagnose this so all of you can fix this car or a truck. So here's another startup. Yesterday I started, what I did was I put the key in, I turned it to accessory. What that does is it kicks on the fuel pump and it primes the fuel system. It could be that the random misfire is due to not having enough fuel pressure. It could be other things, but what we're gonna try next is I'm gonna put this on and we're gonna crank it up right away immediately. Yeah, we got a shake. Okay, it could be simply, and we got a flashing light. That's a good thing right there. Flashing check engine, perfect. So we got a misfire. It's most likely probably cylinder 2 and 3, or number 3, because we did change ignition coil on 2 before, and I like that. That indicates to me a direct misfire to a cylinder, and it's severe. Anyways. So let's give you guys a little bit of guidance on cylinder number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and bank 1 and bank 2. So the passenger side is the bank 1 of this engine, and this is bank 2. So cylinder number 1 is the first ignition coil right over here, and then the cylinder number 2 is right over here, the first one. Then right in the middle on the other side is 3. That's the one of you misfiring. We're gonna focus on that a lot. 4, 5, and the last one over here is 6. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off from this side. I do want to focus on cylinder number 3. So I am gonna take off this little guy, and our filter is in here. This comes off very easy. If the customer has a special filter, then I'm gonna leave it alone, but nope. It's a regular filter. Doesn't look so bad, but once it's open, it's only like a $10 for that filter, not so much. So let me get my impact gun here and small little impact drill, and we're gonna take off this little guy and get rid of this. So we're gonna be using this number 10 throughout a lot of our video. That I don't want to touch because it doesn't seem to be so good. This is all right. I'll lubricate it down the road, and it should be good for the future. Over here it doesn't want to move, and these clamps will break. So if you don't want to take it off, you can just put this to the side, but it will give us a better chance of working on the spark plug and the ignition coils on here. So let's pop this open. Now that I got my camera mounted, and shebang, that's out. And even if you want, I would suggest try to get this off, or you could just take off the 212s off this little guy. That way you have much more room. But we got more than enough what we needed to do. And this guy is gonna bother us. And I don't want to stick it to anything over here and break anything. But come on, always something. Alright, we can just push this down and we can see the whole thing. So what we're gonna do now is cylinder 1, 2 is on the other side, 3 is right here. So this is the one we're gonna focus on. So before I even go any further anywhere else, I am gonna go pop this guy open right here. These bolts don't look so good. Bolts are corroded. Probably was never opened. So let's pop this guy open. I am gonna show you the procedure here, and it applies to the same thing to the opposite side. So let's push down on this little connector and pop up that. So we got a little bit of oil. That could be one of the reasons why you have a misfire. So let me step up a little bit. It's just a little bit of oil, but this can cause misfire. And I really don't care. We're gonna change it. And I am gonna recommend the customer a valve cover gasket. So that one he has to plan down the road. But let me pull out a spark plug. And we're gonna replace the spark plug as well. And I will give you a torque spec. On the other side, you got a whole bunch of stuff on the way. So just take it easy and do it kindly and nicely. And I do have videos on other stuff, so it's the same procedure on the opposite side. Anyways, let me go get my spark plug socket. Got my spark plug socket. This is a 5x8 made by Snap-on. 3/8 dry with a ratchet. That's the ratchet I'm using. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick this in there, and we're gonna turn. If you have a lot of oil in there, you might want to suck out the oil first, but we don't have much, only on the ignition coil. I want to see what's the condition of this plug, but regardless, we're changing it. We change all three. Like I said, procedure applies to the opposite side. Make sure this is nice and loose. There you go. Now I need to get a magnet because that thing is not coming out on its own. So here's our magnet. Make sure the magnet in the front is clean, the tip is clean. And there's our spark plug. Denso. Doesn't look so bad. But we're gonna change it. Before we change that, let's take a clean rag, stick it onto the extension here, just like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick this in there, take a clean cloth, and clean out the cylinder. Even though we are gonna be doing down the road a valve cover gasket here, but right now, this is what we're doing right now. So that's nice and clean. There's not too much oil in there. And now I'm gonna go get the spark plug. Here's our new spark plug, and what we're gonna do is slowly make sure the tip is good and make sure you pre-gap it if you need to pre-gap, but these are pre-gapped so they're good. So you don't want to throw the spark plug in there. Slowly put this in there, and then we're gonna take our extension here and we're gonna catch all the threads as much as possible we can, okay? And then I am gonna torque it, so I will give you the torque specs on this little guy. Okay, we got that in. Let's pull out our extension and the socket. Next step, I'm gonna remove the rest of them, and then we're gonna tighten all of them together. Okay, let's take out this bolt. What am I doing without a light here? Okay, little guy doesn't want to come out. It's rusted, corroded. Let me see if this comes off. That don't come out either. So I have to work more magic here. Okay, I've been on this guy for a little bit. I even took off the pipe here, but all those bolts are shot, so I put this vice grip on this little guy, and this guy is loose, but I still need to get to that cylinder 1 over there, and I'm gonna see if I can find some new bolts. We'll throw on new bolts. Spoke to the customer as well. He's gonna order some parts, and that's when we're gonna do the rest of the job. For now, we're gonna clean and replace just what we have here so far. Okay, so what I did was use that hammer sitting right there. I put number 9 socket on it, hammered it down right from the tip of this extension, and bada bing, bada boom. The guy is out. I'm gonna see if I have some bolts, because these are all crusted out. Let me show you the one that looks something like that. And that's it. Let's move on. And okay, that doesn't want to come out. Let's see what I can do there now. And let's take this guy off. This one came out pretty easy, this one. Just the rest, the other two, this one was just crazy. So there we have it. Whew. What can you do? You have to go through this kind of stuff. So let's take off. Let me fix up my light. My light is just somewhere sitting. Let's take off this connector. If I'm able to take it off. Let's go get a pick. And got this little pick. So let's pick on this little guy. And the connector comes out. Let's do the same thing back here. The reason why I'm showing you this side is because it's easier for the camera to catch. The other side, the camera is not gonna catch because everything is just on the way. Pretty much the other side is gonna be fish everything. Come on, Mr. Connector, come out. And believe me, the other side come out as easy as this side. This got a little bit of oil, so I'm gonna wipe this down. And I'm not liking that. Just make sure you put away the ignition coil. This one did not have any oil, but I wipe it down anyway. Make sure you put away the coil that belongs here, and you don't want that guy mixed up with the rest of them. And that's the one over here. You can mark an X on it, but I usually just put it to the side so it doesn't bother me, and it's not there anymore. But let's go further. What I'm gonna do is let's pull out the plugs. We're back with our extension and the socket here. Loosen it up. Do the same thing here. Okay, got them loose, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take my extension and a hand alone, and let's see, loosen it all the way, as much as you can. Same thing here. What we will do next is we'll go get the magnet again and pull out the plugs. Okay, got the magnet. Let's pull out this plug. And let's pull out this plug. This one got a lot of dust on it. This is something's wrong here with this guy, little guy. I'm gonna take a look at the ignition coil too. This is the ignition coil that came out of that. I'm not liking that. Pop open this boot. Okay, look at that. Something is wrong here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna order more coils, and this coil is shot internally. I'm not sure what can cause that. The plug is not so bad. Well, this is not the plug. This is the plug. But it's burnt. It's burnt. From now on, I'm gonna pay attention to more stuff like that. Alright, let me order some more coils, but we'll continue with the spark plugs. So we got more coils on the way, but meanwhile, let's finish out the job. Let's put this little guy in. Give me a spark plug here. And new spark plug right there. Let's take our socket here. Then I will get my torque wrench. And we're gonna finish out the job nicely and neatly. Got this guy in. Let me lock up this guy. Now I'm gonna go get my torque wrench and I'll give you the torque specs. Okay, I got my torque wrench here to 13 foot-pound. That's what we're gonna torque it to, 13 foot-pound. But I do want to eliminate this extension here because I don't want to have too much loss of power. And I eliminated one of the extensions. And let's snug this guy to 13 foot-pounds. There you go. Perfect. 13 foot-pound done there. Perfect. 2 down. Last one to go. Guess I didn't tighten this all the way. The hell, how much do I need to go? Bring the ratchet back. Can't do that with the torque wrench. Let's snug this down. I guess this wasn't snugged all the way in. There you go, now it's snugged. Coming. There you go. Perfect. We're all done there. Alright, now we're gonna wait for the ignition coils. While we're waiting for the ignition coil, so what we're gonna be doing is I also, as you can see, we had a cylinder 4 misfire also. The 3 did not show my on my little scan tool that was inside the car that the customer had, but when I put a data test on my scan tool, it showed me 3 was over there. It never told me anything about 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5 over there. Never said anything. The one we had a burnt coil on. I have no idea why it would not pick up on that. But over here, yes, you can see I disconnected a connector here and I pushed it down here to give you more clearance. This pipe was up in here and it was going under there, so I just pushed it out and brung it through here, and I got the bolt loose on the ignition coil right there. There you go. And all I need to do is work on this little guy right here, and that's how I'm gonna change all the plugs. There's our 3 old plugs, and here's our 3 new plugs. So like I said, this is very simple. From right over here, make sure you check the tip. There's a gap is not closed, otherwise you'll have a misfire. 1, 2. As I was saying, you might not see this side. And the last one over here. I don't want to drop it in there, so let me just see if I can get my hand in there. I want to release it slowly. There you go. Now I'm going to tighten them, torque them. Let's put these plugs and throw it with the rest of my spark plug pile. Anyway guys, we're going to wait for new ignition coil. So 3 and 4 is going to be new. And well, 3, 4, and 5 is going to be new. I'll continue this video on the opposite side. I'm going to finish this side out. And only thing I will left here is ignition coil. The other side, I'm still waiting on the ignition coil, but let's work back on this side. So only got 1 ignition coil, good coil, and we're gonna put this one over here. Was not able to find any screws for this little guys, but we're gonna put them back on. But down the road, we just change them. But we also got another ignition coil, as you can see right here. We're gonna open this guy up. Let me pop the box open. So here's the box. Inside we have this little bag with the ignition coil in it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick this one right here. And we're gonna have to put those crazy bolts back on. Customer said he's gonna buy everything himself, and he's gonna get new wall covers. Complete the job that way. It's all up to the customer. Can't do much about it. But remember, they're not that hard, that difficult to get off. I just won't crazy tighten them. Let's connect this little guy, and let's connect this little guy. So we're just waiting for that little guy, and I am going to tighten up these bolts all together. Shebang! Got another ignition coil. So we're going to finish up this job. Same thing. Denso. Let's rip open this little bag. And all I need to do is wait for one more ignition coil on the opposite side. Like I said, that side you're not going to see me do it, but I showed you. It's a very simple job. It's even easier on the other side. Just that you don't have to remove crazy stuff. You've seen everything that I removed, and I have to find one more bolt. I don't know where I put it. I think it's stuck on my socket. Stuck on my socket here. So pretty much tighten these 3, and then we'll put the air filter in. Soft tightness, not too crazy. That's good enough. And the same thing here. That's it. He's gonna give me the new bolts. We're gonna be redoing everything over here, and you will watch that video. Anyways, next step, let me get the filter and the housing and the air duct pipe. Here's our new filter. Goes in just like that. And then our cover here. It's really loud out there, but usually the way you would change this is you don't need to dismantle the whole thing. You just take off, you just pull back like that. You stick the new filter inside in here. Well, I guess take it off, put the filter in. I'm all over, right? But you guys get the point. Lock it up, and put the pipe here. You're all done. Bada bing, bada boom. Just make sure all your connectors are in. spark plugs are in, and got the new ignition coils in. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.